I Know What You Did Last Summer, Chapter 2. It was getting dark when Barry Cox drove out of the parking area behind the fraternity house and drove through the campus and then north on Madison to the Four Seasons apartments where Helen lived. Helen was not the only girl Barry dated, but he was fairly sure he was the only guy for her. Strange, he thought, because she lived in an apartment house full of singers. She was beautiful, and she had a fantastic job with TV as the Golden Girl on Channel 5. She could have dated anybody, which was one reason why Barry had gone on dating her after he had left high school and started college. Helen had dropped out without finishing high school. "That girl is not right for you," Barry's mother had said. "I don't understand how you ever started dating her." This was the other reason why he went on dating her. He knew it would annoy his mother. Now Helen had a successful life, not like her older sister, Elsa, who worked in a department store and still lived at home. Ellen had her own apartment, her own car, and anything she wanted, and not a worry in the world. So why had she sounded so worried on the telephone? The call had surprised him. Helen didn't call his home often. Only when she had a reason. She didn't want his mother to pick up the phone. "I've got to see you right away," she had said. "It's important." "Gosh, Heller, right away? Can't it wait? I've got studying to do all this week, and we only saw each other last night." "I told you it's important." Helen sounded worried. "Okay," he said, "if we make it early, right after dinner." Barry had a date with another girl, but he couldn't tell her that. "The earlier the better, around 7? "Okay," Barry had said. He arrived at the apartment house at 6:30. It was a cool spring evening, but already there were plenty of pretty girls sitting around the swimming pool and even one or two swimmers. "Are you looking for an apartment?" one of the girls asked Barry. "No," he said with a smile. "Not this year, anyway." He would have loved to have been able to have a place of his own here, but his mother would have been against it. He was lucky to have been allowed to leave home and live in a fraternity. Helen opened the door to him. She looked beautiful as usual, but Barry could see that something was wrong, and he knew that there was somebody else in the apartment. "Who's here?" he asked Helen. Julie James." Barry walked in and saw Julie sitting on the sofa. He hadn't seen her for a long time, and tonight she looked different. She had never been beautiful like Helen, but she had always been so full of life that her look hadn't really been important. Now she looked at him with big, serious eyes. A different girl. "Hello, Barry," she said. "Hi, Julie. It's been a long time. It's good to see you." Julie looked at Helen. "You didn't tell him?" "No," Helen said. "I thought you should tell him. It's your letter." "What are you talking about?" asked Barry. "What letter?" Julie just pointed to the piece of paper on the table. Barry began to read the big black words aloud. "I know what you did." Then he stopped, shocked. "Where did that come from?" "It came in the mail this morning," Julie told him. "But that's crazy. Who would send you something like that?" "I don't know," Juliet said again. "Have you talked about last summer to anybody? Is there anybody who would know what happened?" "I haven't said a thing." "Helen?" He looked across at his girlfriend. "Nobody. I haven't said a word to anybody." "And I haven't told anybody," said Barry. "We made a pact, didn't we? So this letter can't have anything to do with what we did." Maybe it was something else that Julie did. Or perhaps it was Ray. Perhaps he wrote it as some kind of joke. He wouldn't do anything like that, said Julie. I'm not so sure, Barry replied. You broke off with him so quickly after what happened last summer. But Ray's in California. This letter was mailed here. Ray's back in town, said Helen. I saw him yesterday. Where? Asked Julie, surprised. In that sandwich place near the studio at lunchtime. He came out as I went in. He's changed a lot. I hardly recognized him. He has a beard now. He recognized me, but he didn't speak to me. Then it must be him, said Barry. What a stupid joke. I don't believe it could be Ray, said Julie. He felt worse than any of us when it happened. He wouldn't make a joke out of it. I don't think he would either, said Helen. Could somebody have found out that it was our car? No. We repaired the car and painted it another color. Then we sold it. Barry thought for a moment, then said, Perhaps it is about something different, Julie. Last summer was 3 months long. You probably did a lot of things. Or maybe some kid at school wrote it as a joke, just to shock you. Barry's right, said Helen. I work on television and I sometimes get strange phone calls from men. And if somebody did know anything about what we did last summer, said Barry, he wouldn't write a note like this. He'd go straight to the police. And he wouldn't wait 10 months, said Helen. He would have gone to the police last July. It must be some sort of joke letter about something else, but when Julie found me, we both panicked. Well, you can both unpanic, said Barry, getting out of his chair. It's only some crazy joke. I've got to go now. Suddenly, he wanted to get out of Helen's lovely apartment as quickly as possible. Julie got up too. I've got a date at 8. Goodbye, Helen. It was good seeing you, said Barry to Julie. See you, Helen. What are you doing on Monday? Asked Helen. It's Memorial Day. We're having a little party here. I'll ring you, said Barry at the door. I've got a lot of studying to do. He walked back to the parking lot and got into his car. As he started the car, he heard another car start up. He waited a few moments, but no other car moved. I'm getting as worried as those crazy girls, he thought as he drove into Madison Avenue. He drove slowly back to the campus. When he turned into Campus Drive, the car behind him turned as well. But when he stopped, the car drove past him. Crazy, Barry repeated to himself. Why should I think somebody is following me? But as he walked back to the fraternity house, he felt sure that somebody was watching him. That was the end of chapter 2. Hope you enjoyed it.